welcome to my channel. If you haven't been here before, welcome back. If you watch my videos, and I thank you very, very much. I upcycle clothes. I love to turn thrift store items into beautiful edgy pieces and purses and accessories. And hopefully I can give you a little bit of a different perspective when you go thrift store shopping. Some ordinary things to look for that can really become extraordinary. Today, we're making these flared pants. And this is part of an outfit that I'm actually making, and I'm posting tutorials. There'll be 3 or 4. I haven't decided yet. But I'll show you, as soon as this tutorial's over, the whole entire outfit with this, the finished product, basically. And all this is a pair of skinny pants or black leggings. And the bottom is a dress that I thrifted, and it has some fun embellishments. And just think, okay, so these are black because I'm kind of going for a rock and roll Stevie Nicks vibe with the outfit that I'm creating. But what if, I mean, maybe you're a little more funky and want something to wear to a festival. You could do like a patterned legging with like maybe a hippie boho pattern, and then find kind of a polyester dress or something in a different fabric to do the legs. So, you know, different embellishments, patches. I mean, it's endless what you can really do, but we're working on these, and I'm just going to show you sort of the basic way to get this look. So let's get started. Okay, so these are the skinny pants I'm working with. They're just basic black leggings with a stretch, and they're kind of a medium weight. They're not denim. And the first thing I want to do is take a straight pin and mark just below the knee. I stuck a little straight pin in there. And now what I want to do, so from the bottom of my pant leg to that pin is 12.5 inches, but it's up around my ankle. So what I want to do is take my yardstick and set it on the floor. And I want my bell bottoms to be wide, cover my shoe or boot, whatever I'm wearing, and touch the floor and almost drag on the floor. So I'm going to add a lot of length to mine. You may only want yours to hit the floor and wear sandals, but I'm going to account for a 4-inch heel. So I am going to set my yardstick on the ground and measure up to that pin. And I get 15 inches. And then I'm going to take that 15 inches and I'm going to add 4 inches for my heel, brings me to 19 inches. And then I'm going to add an entire inch for seam allowance because I want room to sew, and I want to make no mistake that these will touch the floor. So I added that 15 inches from the pin to the floor, and then 4 inches for my heel and 1 inch for seam allowance, and I get 20 inches. Now I am just going to keep that number in my head, 20 inches, or write it down, and I'll show you how to make the pattern for the bell bottom. Before I make the pattern, I'm going to cut part of these legs off from the pin that went underneath the knee on down. And so I just pinned this once. I didn't pin both knees, so I will just fold these in half and overlap these legs. Just make sure they're nice and even at the bottom. And I'm just going to cut both of these at the same time. And these electric scissors are amazing. I'll put a link in my description. I always talk about them. Okay, now I have those cut off. And now we just have some weird looking little short pants. So I'm going to use this dress to make the flare at the bottom of the skinny pants or leggings. And this is a size 2X dress. It's black and it has a similar weight to the pants. And it has kind of a cute little ruffle at the bottom. And the pattern I make will be for this dress. So I know how much to cut off for the bottom of the pant leg. Here's my pattern. It is 7 inches across, 20 inches tall, and 13 inches across at the bottom. And I will cut out 4 pieces of fabric with this. But first, let me show you how I got these measurements. So remember, we measured from the pin down and added any heel and seam allowance we wanted, and we got 20 inches. That's how I got this measurement. And then I went to the bottom of my cut pant leg, and this is 6 inches across, and I'm adding an inch for seam allowance. So 6 inches across, I added an inch. That gave me my 7 inches across here. And the 13 inches at the bottom, this will be doubled on each pant leg, and I'll show you what I mean by that. But this is just the width I want my pant leg. And I kind of let the dress dictate that. I kind of folded it in half and made sure that I could go a width that the skirt would allow. I don't want to make this too big and don't have enough room on the skirt. So I took that into consideration when I decided this. But anyway, this is 13 inches across. And I'll just show you quickly how I make my pattern. It's so simple. So I just took a square, 13 inches across, because that's what I have at the bottom, and 20 inches tall. Or it's a rectangle, actually. And then I folded it in half. And this dashed line is my fold line, just to show you. And then, so I want 7 inches across at the top. I take my ruler, and half of 7 inches is 3.5. So I put my ruler on that line at 3.5 inches. And then I just mark on this side of the ruler, and then I mark it 7 inches. And that gives me 2 little marks right here. I'll make them bigger so you can see. And then I take my yardstick and I just connect that dot, I got stuck in the way here, to the corner of my rectangle. Whoops. Well, it's kind of off, but you get the picture. Okay, so then I go to this side, go to the very corner of my rectangle, and up to that mark I made. And make a line. And then I just cut that out, and that gave me this pattern. So here's the dress again that I will be cutting, but first I need to deconstruct it. And this has a little waistline right here, and I'm going to just cut that all the way around. I just want to deconstruct it so I can work with it easier. So here I have the bottom of my dress all cut open. That's where I cut it at the bodice, at the waistline there. And then I just cut open the sides so I could lay it all out. And I'm just taking that pattern and tracing it 4 times on here. And I'm using a piece of chalk. And I'm just lining this up. I want to keep, this is a nice finished edge. And I want to keep it that way because I don't want to have to do any hemming. So I will just take a piece of chalk. And this is a little flimsy, so I kind of have to take my time tracing it and just do little sketching like that. And it's kind of light, but I can see it. So I will go ahead and finish tracing this one out. I have 3 other ones traced, and then I'll cut them out. Now I have all 4 pieces cut out, and now it's time to sew. I am going to take this and turn it over because I want to see the right side, and then I will take another one of these and lay it on top, right sides together, and then I will take it to my machine, and I will not pin this. Because when I sew a straight line like this, I just stick it in the machine, and then I just kind of line it up as I go. You can pin it if you want. On this one, I'm just going to use a fairly small straight stitch. I'll use black thread, and I'll do about between a 1/4 inch and a 1/2 inch seam allowance. You know, my cutting is a little jagged sometimes, so if I go a little bigger on the seam allowance, I'm sure to get both pieces in there nice and secure. So the one important thing though, I am going to start at the bottom and sew, because it's more important that the bottom lines up than the top. If I start up here, sometimes things shift around and I may have, you know, some overlap here, and I don't want that. So I'll go to my machine and I'm just going to sew both sides. And I'll do this one too. I'll lay this one on top. So then I'll end up with just kind of 2 pant legs when I'm done. Now I have these sides all sewn, and I wish they were a little bit wider, but I had to work with the dress that I have. If you want yours wider, just get a dress with lots of volume at the bottom, or even a skirt. Skirts a lot of times can have very wide bottoms, and you can use that instead of a dress. So now I need to attach these to my pants. The first thing I do when I attach these to the pants is turn the pants inside out. And then I'm going to take one of the new pant legs, and it is still inside out, and I'm going to turn it upside down. Now this is the bottom of the pant leg, and I am going to slide this pant leg through this one until they line up at the bottom. Okay, now I have right sides together basically, and I want to pin this new pant leg to the old pant leg, and I start at the seams. Hold on, I have to grab my pins. Okay, so I pinned the 2 seams together, the seam from the original pant leg and the new one. That just helps things line up. It looks nice if the seams line up. And then I'll just pin it the rest of the way around. Okay, so now I have both pant legs pinned all the way around, and I will just take it to my machine, and I'll remove that front plate so that I can slide this over top of that little arm underneath my needle, and I will do about a 1/4 inch seam allowance with a fairly small stitch and just go around each pant leg. Okay, so I just got the bottom sewn. Now I can turn these inside out. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna get these turned inside out and I'll get back to you. Okay, so here's what they are looking like. And you can see all the seams on mine. And if you watch my videos, you know I love having seams on the outside. I have seams up here. I just think it adds a little interest. If you want all your seams on the inside, just do it the opposite as I did it. So now I could leave these as they are, but I'm kind of going for a rocker Stevie Nicks vibe. So I'm going to add one more thing. Okay, so what I want to add to mine are a couple little lace pieces and a braid. And I want to put them sort of off center in the front. I had some of this lace left over from a duster that I made. And so I just cut a couple pieces for each side that are approximately a little over a 1/4 inch wide and about 19 inches long, because that's basically what I had to work with. And then I made a black braid. It does have a little bit of color in it, doesn't matter. And this is 30 inches long. And so I took a pin, and I want these to sort of be in front but off center, off to the outside a little bit of the pant leg. So I came in 2 1/4 inch from each side, and I just marked it with a pin. That way I know where to sew. And then I cut my laces and made my braid. And now all I'll do is go to my machine and stick my pant leg back through the machine, come up to this point, and I am just going to take a little zigzag stitch and go over this a couple times. I'll lay these on where the pin would be. And then the braid, I want to fold in half, but I don't want it to be completely even at the bottom. And I'll lay that over top, and I will just go over that a couple times with a zigzag stitch on both sides. Okay, here are the pants with the entire outfit. Super cute. And I'm posting 4 tutorials today, including the pants. I'm doing the hat, the duster, and the top underneath. And I'll link those videos in my description. Thank you so much for watching.